Know that you've had difficulties with your parents in the past, and I know a lot of people know about it, that it's kind of common knowledge for you. Is that something that still defines you, or are you kind of looking to move away from that?
I don't see it as one or the other. It's not, it defines me, therefore I'm stuck and I decide to move on. It's a part of who I am, and it's made me the woman that I am, and I'm very
Sure.
proud of the woman that I've turned into.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay to have scars and wounds and talk about it, and exactly kind of what I'm doing. I'm just kind of going through the healing process, and I'm being honest and open about it, and having people kind of join me on the journey. And I think the really cool part is I know I'm not the only one going through something. If my story might be unique in of itself of the LGBT community, but I know that even people outside of the LGBT community can relate in some way to, feeling rejected at some point in time. And so, I think it's just really, I'm hoping you said that, when I sing it moves you. When I sing, it moves me. And my whole goal is to, connect with others and move people on the same level that I moved, and just kind of having an empowering moment with each other to address the things that hurt and that cause pain, and rise above them.
Yeah. And it really feels like that. I know that part of your sexuality was, well, your sexuality was really an issue for your family. And in South Africa, there's high rates of crime against the LGBT community. And so if anyone's watching this and they're wanting to come out, or they're in the process of self-discovery in terms of self-identity, what would you say to them?
That's when I'm very, humbled by the fact that I live in a country where it's at least, safe to be
Yeah.
out. Having personal disagreements and stuff in our family is, just on a different level than having to live in fear of your life. And I mean, it's something hard for me to say as far as giving advice, because I don't know. I think the most important thing is to make sure that you're in a place where you're safe, and
Yeah.
where not only mentally and emotionally but physically as well. So put that first, no matter what.
Yeah. And I think it's helpful words, and I think it's so inspiring, right? I know I was talking to some of my girlfriends and their friends, and I was saying that I was going to interview you, and they're all bombarding me with questions that I should ask you. But I think the main thing was really that your music is so inspiring, and kind of what you see for yourself in the future. Where do you see yourself going?
Um, I think I've always felt like since I was a little kid that I was meant to do music, and I've always had somewhat, I consider it like a fire that's kind of lit inside me, and being able to get on The Voice really let the fire grow a lot.
Yeah.
But what's keeping it going now is all the people that I've connected with while I was on the show, and the people that are encouraging me to keep pursuing music. And I think that's just exactly where my life is going to keep going.
Yeah.
I'm writing almost every day. I'm recording as much as I can, and you know if I don't believe in the music, then I wouldn't do it. And I really wholeheartedly believe in it, and I'm going to do this for as long as I'm able to.
Amazing. And there's so many people out there that believe in you, so I have no doubt that that what you're saying is true. What was it like working while being on The Voice and working with all these amazing people?
Um, when I decided to try out for the show, I thought, what do I have to lose, as far as if they say no, or I don't turn a chair or whatnot. And I think my fiance in particular was really nervous for me, because she didn't want me to feel rejected.
Yeah.
But I kind of had the mindset of, at least it'll be worth the experience. I will learn something, and I'll grow in some way. And my expectations were just completely just exceeded. I had the most amazing time on the show, and ended up getting to work with Gwen and then Alicia, the two, and
Yeah.
two coaches, and then two female coaches. And that for me was really, really cool to have this, moment where, being surrounded by strong women that I look up to on a personal and musical level.
Yeah.
So I just grew so much as not just as an artist, but just as a person. And I came off the show with just a very clear direction of what I want to do and how I want to do it. And I'm kind of just in awe of how it happened, and I'm completely just in gratitude of it all.
Amazing. Um, so, as you're talking about it, it just sounds so exciting, the process and being able to connect and do what you love. And I know that you're talking about how your work at the moment is a lot about encompassing what it feels like to be rejected, and or maybe not to be rejected, but rejection as a theme. Am I right in saying that? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what would you say has been the most powerful thing for you in the healing process thus far?
Sorry, you cut out on the last bit.
I was going to say, what has been the most healing thing for you in this process so far?
Um, I think it's in a lot of ways has been just very, incremental circumstances and things that have happened that honestly, I mean, I would have to go back to when, I met my fiance, and she really kind of showed me what unconditional love is and what it
Yeah,
means. And I started believing in it again.
yeah,
And, she and our friend are the one that that really encouraged me to pursue music, because I was kind of shy about it at first,
okay.
singing in public. And it gave me the confidence to go out there and put myself out there. And I would have been too terrified, I think, to do it without just like a home base of foundation. But I think one moment when I got really overwhelmed, in particular, is the night that America voted me through.
Yeah.
And I remember just kind of sitting there thinking, there was a time where I felt so unsupported in my life, and now I have America behind me. And that was quite overwhelming, and I think a big factor in my healing process for sure.
Oh, amazing. I actually get goosebumps as you talk about it, that there's something so powerful about that, right? That it just you're really not defined by your limits or your past or any story that sort of shapes or identifies. And I think that is what feels very, at least to me, feels very motivating and also very inspiring about your work, because you very much live through it. It's not sort of conceptual.
I think that's I know that's the main message. I didn't have to go public with my story, and I didn't have to,
Yeah.
think about it, especially on a national level, and it was scary to do so. But the reason why I chose to do it ultimately was I wanted to send out a message of hope, and the message of never giving up is the most important thing that we can do. And I'm proof. I really wanted to, just have that. I just think about myself when I was 18 and feeling all alone, and I didn't want anyone to feel like they were alone.
Amazing. And I really think you do that for people. At least I can speak for the community that I know about. So amazing. So if I could wave a magic wand and make it happen, who would be your penultimate to record with? Which artist?
It's very easy for me. Chris Martin, Coldplay.
Really?
They, yeah, they were like the first secular band that I was exposed to, probably like in high school.
Okay.
And to this day, still my favorite songwriter, still my favorite band. I haven't even seen them live. It's on my bucket list.
Okay.
So much less working with him. I haven't even seen him perform live, but it's something that I'm going to do. And I mean, that makes me just like get all giddy just thinking about it. But I think he's really phenomenal, and is influential, on me.
Yeah. It would be quite incredible if the first time you ever saw or did anything was actually if you were on stage with him. It would be quite an incredible thing.
Don't even joke about it.
No, no, I'm joking. So, who are the musicians that inspire you as well? Just when you're writing, do you ever not take, because I'm not a musician, so I don't know what the process really is like, but as artists, who are people that inspire you?
So, kind of going back to my childhood of being just really, really sheltered and not being influenced by much music at all besides what I heard in church.
Sure.
I was still writing my own original stuff as young as 8 years old, And so I kind of just kept doing that up until, my adulthood. And the interesting part for me is I would go to like an open mic and perform, and someone say, "Hey, you sound like Janis Joplin," or "Hey, you sound like so and so. Are you influenced by them?" And I would go, "Who is that?" So because I'm exposed to so many things, and I think more now I try to I still try to stay in that same vein of kind of not I don't know, I feel like since I wasn't influenced, kind of still trying to write from this place of like originality is something that I strive to do. But at the same time, the artist that when I listen to that I'm immediately clicking with, that I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to do, is again Coldplay, it's Adele, it's Imogen Heap, it's Alicia Keys. It's the kind of music that I want to do because it's emotional and the melodies are powerful and the lyrics are inspirational, and this is what I'm all about.
Amazing. Stephanie, it's been so great chatting to you.